Hello and welcome to another episode. We've had the MG now for 2 months and we've done 3,121 miles. So we just thought we'd do a quick video just to tell you how we feel about the car, how we've been getting on with it, the pros, the cons, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's been overall, it's been very good. There are some really good points and there are some bad points. Lots more good points than there are bad. But the overall experience has been, bear with me because I'm driving, the overall experience has been fantastic. So I'll start off with my favourite thing being the roof. I love the roof, and I love the roof I think because Florence, who is just there, who may make some noise, so I'll just pre-warn you, Florence loves the roof and it makes her very happy. She's constantly looking out of it, massive grin on her face, talking about it, and it's just nice. It makes it airy and makes it feel quite big inside. You do lose some heat through it, but you can, if you want to, just close that and then the blind will come forward and it keeps the heat in. So you've got the best. That is the roof, darling. That's the roof. So it will maintain that heat if you need it to. So, but I prefer to drive with it open, as does Florence.
You like the roof, don't you, Florence?
Yeah, I like it. Wow.
The roof's down.
The roof is down, good girl.
And the thing is, if you do get a bit cold, you've got your heated seats,
Yes.
which are good, again, good and bad. The roof is open.
The roof is open, Florence.
The heated seats are fantastic. They get hot very quickly.
Florence.
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
The heated seats are really good. They get hot really quickly. The downside of the heated seats is that they're either on or off. They're either hot or not. And that is it, isn't it? You've got burn or no burn.
I wouldn't say burn, but they are definitely warm.
They're definitely warm. But they keep you nice and warm.
They do keep you nice and warm.
I don't think I've been cold in this car.
No, that's another thing actually. There was a lot of scepticism around the heater and heat pump and it having a PTC resistance heater. But actually it heats up. It starts blowing hot air within 10 seconds, warm air within 10 seconds. Within a minute, it's like a Russian furnace and it clears the screen within minutes. It's really quick. So in the mornings, and there has been some frosty mornings just recently, I'm in the car, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, and I'm away. So, and also if you do want to preheat it, which you can't do from an app because it doesn't have one, which is a bad point, you can come outside, you can turn the car on, you can get the heater going, and then you can just leave it and go back inside. I've done that on a couple of occasions while I've had my breakfast in the mornings. So, yeah, it works that way as well.
The space in it is fantastic. That is definitely one of the pros of this car. There's so much space. We can fit so much in it. We went on holiday. I can't remember where we went. We went away, but everything that Florence could have possibly needed, plus extras, all in the back of this car, and Florence and me and James. So there's definitely not an issue with space. It's not as big as some of the cars like the Tesla, but it's definitely adequate.
Yes, it is definitely. So at the moment we've got Florence's pushchair, we've got the boot level in the lowest, so we've got Florence's pushchair, a running buggy actually, which is quite wide. We've got that in there. We've got a rain cover, we've got our charging cables, we've got all our camera kit, which is down here behind the seats and in the boot as well. So yeah, certainly a lot of room, but also little things that we haven't had, like storage under the arm just there, and door bins. I can't tell you how useful door bins are.
Yeah, you don't realise how much you miss them.
No.
They do collect some rubbish.
They do.
As well.
At the moment I've got a parking ticket in mine and a set of keys. So
same.
Yeah.
But they're useful, especially when you have got a little person and you're carrying lots of stuff. So yeah, definitely can't complain about that. And just the space in the back, you know, if you've got a couple of adults sitting in the back and 2 adults in the front, we did it the other night, last Saturday night, and it was brilliant. It was. One of them is 6 foot tall, one of them is just under 6 foot tall.
Emily, yeah, she's a very tall girl.
Yeah, and she was really comfortable.
Yeah,
so
it was good. The other thing which is a massive selling point for this car is the price. So with the grants that MG have put on, and with the 3,500 government grant, it's it's £24,000, £23,500. That's just, there's not another car of this size in this sector that gives you this much car for that much price.
No, it's true.
There isn't, is there? No.
It's what we paid for our Leaf when
Yeah.
we first got our Leaf, the very first one.
Wow.
So
Yeah, 22 kilowatt hour battery. Sorry,
Yeah.
just going over a bridge. Actually, that's something I like. The weighting of the horn. If you press the horn in the Tesla, it's quite a heavy push. But this is nice and gentle.
yeah.
And I think that's mainly because this is a Volkswagen Golf GT TDI steering wheel.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, did you not know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, it's a Volkswagen Golf. Yeah, it's a very good steering wheel. It'll last a long time.
And actually, going on to that, the interior is lovely,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes, it
The
is.
layout of it's lovely.
Yeah.
You know, I've got issues with buttons.
Yeah.
Yes, there are quite a few buttons, but I've got used to them really quickly, and it's clear. It's just obvious, isn't it?
Yes. Another real plus for the MG is it's got quite a high floor, so accessibility is really great. It's great for Florence, getting Florence in, bad backs. We've been through this before, but also just in front of us there is a flood. Now, we've been through it already in the MG, but we thought it'd be great if we could demonstrate it for you as well. And that's partly because, one, it's electric, and it also has a nice high floor, so the clearance is good. Are you nervous?
No, when we're in the Tesla, I'm nervous because we're so low to the ground, and we've been through this, and it was bigger. This is considerably smaller than it was.
Big muddy puddle.
It is, Florence, a big muddy puddle.
Well, that was nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, it was up to the top of the lights, wasn't it?
It went over the lights the
Yeah.
first time we went through, yeah.
And it was fine.
Yeah.
So
Actually, on a plus note, we've changed the bulbs in ours for xenons from the standard halogens, and they were given to us. They were free, but had we paid for them, they would have been about 25 quid. And because they're made in China as well, like the car, so you've always got that bit of, are they going to survive? And they would have been completely submerged, and they are still working just perfectly.
you didn't tell me that was a risk.
Yeah.
Before we went through the flood.
Would you know what it was? When we went through it, I thought I saw one of them flick, but it was the water going over it.
Yeah,
And I thought, oh no, the bulb's gone out. But yeah. So actually, they're working really well as well. But on that note, the only reason we changed the bulbs was for aesthetic reasons only. It wasn't for performance reasons. So the standard 55 watt Philips bulbs, which are fitted to this HB3s, are actually very, very good. So this is just normal life in the car for us these days. So
Sorry.
You just have to go with it.
We've tested the range, or James has. He did a long range test, and it performed really, really well, didn't it? It did pretty much what you expected it would do, which was it about 150?
Was it 104? I think it did 140 motorway.
140 on the motorway.
Yeah.
But that's fantastic,
It is.
really. If you're driving on a motorway and doing 70, which I'm presuming you probably were, because...
I did on the way down. On the way back, I did 60, I think.
But it's definitely enough for us. I mean, we charge it... How often are we charging this? Once a week?
Well, luckily, we've had free charging at work, which is...
I like this one.
Luckily, we've had free charging at work, so that's made life quite easy for us. So we just charge it when it runs out, plug it in, and it charges up. But we will be charging it probably every 3 days, I'd say.
Reckon?
Yeah, every 3 days. Another thing I like is the rotary gear selector, which is just down here. It's very Jaguar Land Rover-esque, but it's nice and easy to use. You don't have to look at it to do anything. If you come back from that, we've got the park brake and then the auto hold. Now, initially when we picked the car up, sorry, I thought the auto hold feature had been sort of refined a little bit. It felt as though the delay that I felt on the pre-production model had gone. But actually it seems to be there. I think what's actually happened is I've got used to using it and working it. So if you, with a little bit of foot control, you can sort of get it to do what you want it to do. It just takes a bit of getting used to. It would be nice if the delay wasn't there, but it is there, so it's just one of them things. But it actually works very well. It's a very useful feature, something that if it wasn't there, I would miss. So,
Is that what causes the jerkiness though when you're parking?
yes, when you're parking, you probably need to turn that off. Do you remember the e-pedal
Yeah.
on the Leaf?
It was the same. That's the same.
Yeah.
But what the thing I found is, I mean, I don't particularly like the auto hold for the delay, but like James says, on big hills and stuff, it is really useful. And you just got to remember that you've got it on. So when you want to pull off, you just put your foot down just a couple of milliseconds before you need to.
Yeah.
But I was finding it really difficult when you're parking because it makes the car jerk forwards.
Yes.
And when you're in a tight space and you're trying not to hit the car in front of you, you really don't want that.
No,
So
no.
yeah, it's just a case of remembering when to have it on and when to have it off.
Yes. I'll go with that. The way it looks. Now, it's grown on me. I liked it anyway, but it's really grown on me. And since we put the tints on, which from the inside you can't really see, but from the outside they're actually really dark. I think this is 15% tint. I think it looks amazing. I think it looks really, really nice.
It does look good. And with the black wing mirrors, and it looks kind of it looks.
Proud of that.
Are you?
Yes.
It looks quite mean.
Yeah.
And there's, we've had some compliments
Yes, we have.
on it, and people do look at it,
Yeah.
and because it looks like a nice car. And I think when James was talking about what colour to go for, and I was a bit like, oh, I just can't think about it at the moment. Let's just have white.
Yeah.
I was a bit like that, and then I got a bit nervous, and I thought, oh no, white. But actually, especially with the black wing mirrors, the tinted windows, it looks really nice.
Yeah, it does look nice. We're really pleased with it. It's really lovely. Go on then, get a negative in there.
So
Oh,
here's another
one.
flood.
Another flood. So no problems here either.
It's a bigger one. This is bigger than the other one.
Cheers.
And
Muddy puddle.
a big muddy puddle. Let's hope the car's got its wellies on.
Got my waist on.
You have got your wellies on.
Still there.
That's good then. We're nearly there. There are some negatives, and I have to say the majority of the negatives are really small things which you'll be like, really, is that a massive issue? And no, it isn't, but it's just something that kind of like makes me go, oh, I wish it had that, or it didn't have that.
Yeah.
And the first one I'll start with is so minor. It doesn't have a temperature gauge for the outside. And I get in the car and I didn't realise how much I used that and how much I looked at it in any other car I've been in. But I miss it. Just a small thing.
It's not actually that big a thing for me. I think for some people I think it's one of them features you get used to, isn't it?
That's it. It's not something, I think I wouldn't not have the car because it doesn't have a temperature gauge.
No.
But it's just something small that's a bit of a niggle.
Yes.
So there's that. I think one of the major negatives for us, and this is both of us, is the what we call the bongs.
Yeah.
And if anybody's got one of these, they'll understand what we mean. You get in the car, you start it, you start to move and pull away, and you get bong, 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 and things flashing up on the screens telling you things are on, things are off.
Yeah.
And they're just a pain. A big bridge, yeah. They're just a pain and they're irritating.
They are irritating. They're unnecessary, aren't they?
Yes.
They are. There's just too many of them. You don't need to bong to tell me everything that the car's doing.
Every single time you turn it on.
Yeah, and also whilst it's bonging, it's cycling through telling you what's on and what's off, and that's just unnecessary. You don't need to know what's on and what's off.
No.
It's just you've switched it on. It's there. It should stay on until you turn it off, and then it should say off or on, and that's pretty much it.
The MG doesn't have an app, which is it's quite a big deal.
Yeah.
Really, we miss it. I know James was talking about how he can get in the car and he can start it and demist it and de-ice it. But actually having the app and being able to do that in the house is so useful, especially for me when I'm trying to get out to work and I've got to get Florence to my mum's. I haven't got the time to be going downstairs, turning the car on, coming back upstairs. I can just, at the moment, on the Tesla, press a button. By the time me and Florence get down there, it's nice and warm, no ice.
Yeah, I would like to be able to have an app. For me, it's not a big deal. The car warms up quick, but I would not say no if somebody said, "Do you want to have an app?" Especially for like the likes of you. That's it, for me, it's no biggie, but for you, it's a definite thing. The more frustrating thing is that actually they've got a really good app in other countries for this car.
What?
Yeah. Did you not? You don't know, do you? In Thailand,
Why?
they've got
Why?
a really comprehensive app.
But why not here?
Don't know. I think it's similar to the Hyundai Kia thing where the Kona, the Soul and that didn't have an app. So, but they do in other countries. So frustrating, but we have a feeling that one of those will come sooner or later.
The other thing which is really frustrating for both of us is the lack of charge timer. We have, with our energy company, we have a cheap rate which is from 12:30 at night until 5 in the morning.
4:30.
4:30 in the morning.
God, let me get up before they
And
come.
we don't want to be getting back out of bed at 12:30 to go and press the charger to make it start and charge the car.
Yeah,
We really just want to be able to set a timer
yeah,
so we can just go to bed.
yeah. It's true. The workaround for that is at the moment, well, because we're charging at work at the moment, it's not a problem for us, but for a lot of people it will be. But we have it on good authority that too will be fixed. So we're fingers are crossed. We're hoping that happens.
Yeah.
Short of that, there are other people and charge companies looking at how they can work around that problem. So if it's not fixed by MG, I think there will be a workaround by somebody else, whether it be an app company or whether it be a charge company.
I did it.
Well
done, Florence. Yeah, so maybe it'd be a charge company. So we'll see. So yeah.
But I think overall, in the last 2 months, we've really enjoyed having the car.
Yeah.
We have, haven't we? And
It's been a workhorse, hasn't it? It's
it has.
does everything.
It's been taking James to work most days. I've used it for work. We've been on some long journeys together and separately, and it's performed brilliantly.
Yeah, it has. But if you factor in the price of this car and what you get, nothing comes close to it. Nothing. Things that you might look at having as options on other cars are just standard on this. There's a lot of things which are standard that you don't get. So it's a really, really good package. It's comfortable. It's really well built. I've had to take some of the interior apart on the car over the last 2 months, and pulling the interior apart is not as easy as you think. That it is really, really well bolted down. Just going for another flood, by the way, which makes me happy. So no problem
Florence,
at all.
Florence, look.
Went a bit quicker that time. Fantastic.
So the buying process, yes, a little bit frustrating. We'll get to wait.
The delay.
The delay,
Yeah,
yeah, not the buying process, sorry. The delay in actually us getting this car was really frustrating. But it's been worth it.
And now the cars are starting to be delivered. I think there was like 5 or 6 cars handed over yesterday.
Was there?
Yeah, and there's more coming next week as well. So
Right.
there was a delay on software, I think, for MG. So they've overcome that, and now they're at a point where the cars are starting to flow. And there's a lot of happy people out there. A lot of happy people. So
That's good.
overall, for us, for me anyway, it's been bonza. I love it. Completely love it. What about you?
I do love it. I do. I still can't get over my love of our other car. And I still compare it. But like James said, for the price, and I said this before in our last video with the MG that I did, for the price, it's just a no-brainer. It's just...
How good do you think the Tesla would have been if it was 24 grand?
not anywhere near this.
Do you think it would have had an app?
Oh God, who knows?
It would have been shocking, wouldn't it?
Probably.
24 grand, it would have been absolutely awful.
The interior in this is definitely, it feels nicer.
Than the Tesla.
Than the Tesla.
Yeah, it is. It is. So overall, we're happy.
Overall, we're happy. We're happy. Florence is happy.
Florence loves it. Florence, do you love the MG?
Yeah.
Do you? How much? Lots. She did say lots. That wasn't prompted. So, anyway, that was just a really, really quick update. 3,000 miles. We hope you've enjoyed it. And
I have got one other negative.
oh,
I'm really sorry.
get out.
The charge port.
The charge port. Okay. Yeah.
James has fitted a light to the charge port, which has really, really helped. Hasn't
We're
it?
on the third light. The third light. It's work in progress, but yes.
We're nearly there, Florence. So we've got, James has fitted this light in the charge port, which really, really helps. But it's just, we talked about it before, so we're not going to go into it loads, but the way the charge port opens just isn't brilliant. It opens up, so you do have to duck down to plug the car in.
Yes, it's the thing is that actually the truth with that is when you've done it a few times, you don't need to look. You just flip it. You pull the bung out, and then you chuck it in. It's actually harder to unplug and then rebung it. It is. I've charged it more times than you have.
You have. It's not. Again, it's not something that would stop me from buying this car.
No.
But it's just a thing. We talked about it the other night, didn't we? And we're like,
Yeah.
why couldn't they have just done this, or this? And there must have been a reason. So who knows?
Yeah. But
overall, I do love it.
what would you give it out of 10 now, 3,000 miles in?
Like an 8.
An 8. That's good.
7.5,
That's good.
8.
Florence, pick a number between 1 and 10.
9.
Good girl. Florence is a 9. So that's good. And Daddy's a 9. Sorry, and I'm a 9 as well. So yeah, I'll go with 9. We'll drop a point for the few little niggles, but apart from that, buying one of these, you're not going to go wrong. You're going to love it. You really are, because we love it.
Just turn your bongs off.
Turn your bongs off. So. Anyway, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's been very short, but thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on Twitter @Kate Phantom, and we'll see you again soon with another episode.
Bye from us. Florence, say bye.
Bye-bye.
Good girl.
A few points we did forget. The roads have been pretty horrific around our way, with lots of flooding, and it's been very wet. But when we had a look under the MG, we've got no rust. Also, there is no interior light in the rear, which did make it difficult when loading and unloading Florence in the dark. Fortunately, James fitted this BMW LED footwell lamp for under £10 with excellent results.